Mutanus was my favorite hero, most played and highest win rate for ages, but it's been a while since I actually played him. Now here I got very shitty options, so I took him and it was a decent lobby. And the reason why it's been a while since I played him is because I even did a guide on him. I play him very tempo oriented and he is really strong in a mid game, but it's not a mid game kind of meta. It is all about finding triples, high rolling avenge and milking, and then just, you know, getting crazy stats onto your 5-6. But that is not really, you know, what Mutanus does. He likes to just play a bit slower, have small boards, go for stats early on, try and dominate, which is really bad for avenge. It basically just isn't good right now. But yeah, this game I did something really great, really fun, so I had to share it with you guys. I think it's been my most fun Mutanus game to date, especially in a meta like this. I'm just playing like I kind of usually do. I have two good units on the board, the Trickster and the Puppbot. So I try to find Divine Shield cards or cards with good effects to try and buff, and then other than that I just buy the highest stat units. So as you can see, I bought a 5-3, just 8'd. I bought a 3-5 here as well. I'm just trying to play strong stuff, trying to keep my board small and just make sure that I'll have some strong cards that can stay around. I usually try and, you know, set up for Menagerie as well, since you know, I have a great demon here, a great mech. I guess a Quillbore, although it's not permanent, I might just hero power it here if I don't find anything good. And let's level straight to 4. Our tier 3 shop was bad, so I'm just gonna take a level. And now Peggy is also a fine card. So we made it to 4, relatively healthy, 37 HP, because I do have a pretty good tempo board, as mentioned. Now we're up against Daryl, who's really low, so I assume he's going to be strong. Peggy is a good card because it just puts stats onto a random card, right? Like if I get any random pirate, it will get a lot of buffs for free, and then I could just hero power it and it lands on a better card, hopefully. So I try to just do some cool mid-game scaling, try and preserve every little point of stat that I can. There's a Briny, which is great. And yeah, the Quillbore, it's not going to get a shield anytime soon, so might as well put the stats on something more relevant. I wasn't sure if I wanted to hero power that yet, so that's why I played the pirates down first, but otherwise I could have hero powered first, increase the odds of, you know, actually guaranteeing them landing on a good permanent unit. So this is our board. We have a big ass Briny bootlegger, a Peggy, and I guess a Greasebot as well. It's a 3-6 that gave +1/+1 to Puppbot, right? And I do want to try and find the Flecto, so I think Greasebot was worth it. I pushed the level, because why not? Again, Lightfang would be decent, Bran, maybe even Agam and do shit like that, or find Poison. Whatever, Hymen is a good tempo card as well. Now there's a Shaker in the shop, and with Ground Shaker, Mutanus, it's a good combo, because you can just buff up the attack of your board and then eat it, and the attack becomes permanent. Somehow I rolled into a triple Peggy, can't complain, and let's see if we can get a good 6 here to fill out the board. Like Coiler and Nosy are decent tempo, but Hamul can get me pirates here, since I do have 2 pirates if I get rid of the mech, and it can get me hoggers. I have a golden Peggy on the board. I want to try and go into APM. Sadly, we got trash. I mean, with Tony we could golden something, but I don't think that's really too valuable here. I also don't think it triggers reliably, so I'm taking the Briny instead, since it is a pair that I could still triple, you know. What else am I gonna do this turn? Now there's a Spore and a Mackerel. Mackerel, again, we only have 1 shield, no Deflecto yet, and it's not consistent. While Spore, I think Poison is always good in this meta. We've seen it before. Every endgame comp ends up having Spores. Now this is how strong the Elise is, for example. They have double Mackerel and Croc tank, and another pair, so they are also tier 5, yet we're able to deal 15, and we, I think, are in a pretty good, strong position. No one is dead yet, the cat stayed alive, there's still a damage cap, and now we're facing the top person. And right now I'm figuring out what the hell are we doing, where do we go with this comp, right? I do take Tony still, because I feel like the only way we win is if we go APM, right? Like I have no scaling, I have this golden Peggy, that is it. So I either just pivot into full Poison, which, you know, I can do, or I try and find a Hogger still and do a potential pivot. The buff here luckily lands onto my Divine Shield, pretty good. I'll take Argus, so that way I can reliably trigger the Tony, but I haven't found anything yet to golden, except if I would like to golden a Briny bootlegger. But then again, I can also now taunt my Trickster, so I know that the buff is gonna trigger onto something on my board, because the previous fights it didn't really pop onto, you know, any cards. Again, we'll see where this goes. Now, if you saw the thumbnail, you're kind of spoiled and you know where this is gonna go. I mean, I need a good thumbnail because that shows you why this game is worth watching. I kept the Trickster on board and the Pubbot because those are the best units to still land buffs on. The Peggy is going to be gone soon. We're up against the Cat, who died, so we were able to face a Ghost, luckily, after facing the high rolly Cookie on top. Now we found Hogger, and now I'm trying to think, okay, how do we go APM here? So I'm selling the Spore since we're up against Ghost. I think I'm strong enough to beat them. I'm gonna play Hogger and Tony. I also got a Battle Master because it's just good to eat, right? I can just eat a Battle Master. And I have 2 pirates still that could golden as well from Tony, so to increase my odds I'm eating the biggest one. Hopefully it lands onto Trickster or Pubbot, and then my small pirate is just gonna die. But no, of course I buff my other pirate, so it's gonna value trade and it could get golden from the Tony, which is kind of unfortunate if the Tony triggers at all, since I have like no death rattle stuff, which is why I'm rolling so much on using my gold here. I really want to find death rattles, so I'll just take a pair on Battle Master, I suppose, and hope that my stuff triggers. I need to put the pirate first, need to hope that everything dies. And sadly, our Tony didn't trigger in that fight, and now I'm stuck with a single Hogger and the Tony on board, and somehow triple Battle Master. So we're at top 5, which is kind of a miracle, since I'm just trying to like play Mutanus in a weird mid-game comp that doesn't do anything. I do end up keeping Hogger. I still think it's valuable. Buff lands on Battle Master, not the worst, so let's triple this one. We do like have 8 HP, so it should be fairly big. I could have rolled first for Bren. That's one thing that I could have done here instead, but I want to see what my triple reward was first, because I still kind of in my head wanted to go APM Pirates. McKz is good because, you know, poison is decent. I'm not just gonna buy, yeah, there's a brand. I'm not just gonna buy any random pirates. With one single Hogger, that's not worth it. Even though we do have Golden Peggy, I'm only gonna buy useful pirates like the free ones, except for here, because, you know, I could just roll a bunch, but might as well take these pirates now with the arm in hand. But we're not APM. I can't say with good confidence that we are a cycle APM comp here. I'm just trying to live. I'm just trying to play strong and use my money to my advantage here. I don't think rolling would have ever been better. And, you know, we can just drop the stupid mics now. So we still have a pair on Briny, which can get us maybe on Algodon. We do have a bunch of tribes. I can still pivot into stuff. We're up against, yeah, this big demon person. But as you'll see in the fight, even though they are, you know, kind of big, I'll be able to beat them just because this Battle Master is so huge. The Golden Battle Master is still a very underrated card, especially right now because there's a lot of poison. It sucks, it dies to a lot of stuff. But this lobby had no Murloc, so the only poison would be Spore or McKz. Knowing that I'm facing demons, it's very unlikely that they have that on the board here. Also, a very short reminder again that most of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed to the channel, so if you enjoy what you're watching right now and you want to watch more, don't forget to leave a subscription. Thank you. But okay, I think it's about time that we hero power this Battle Master now. Try and land the buffs onto something more useful like McKz. Massive McKz would be amazing. On Pubbot, sure. On the demon would be probably the best. I'm wondering if I should still take this pirate. I'm not doing it, but instead we happen to roll into Golden Selfless. Now I already took a Selfless because I think we gotta start trying to live, right? Our board isn't doing anything. We have 1 poison. I have like a bit of stats, like I'm just picking strong cards and hero powering them. That's all I'm doing. I have no passive scaling or anything, or even active scaling. But a Golden Selfless will definitely be great if I can find a Spore or a second McKz. Find Reborn onto McKz. Let's see where the Battle Master lands. Hopefully it is onto a useful card, but no, why would it do that, you know? The more I try, the more shots I have actually, you know, getting unlucky. But that's why I try and hero power almost every turn on Mutanus, because you can get fucked over so many times in a row, but it just needs to land once and you're strong, and you increase your odds, of course, the more you hero power. So now we got a massive Hogger, I guess a baby 4 Reaper as well, and the 2 cards that have been on my board since the start, both the Pubbot and the Demon, are super small. Like the Briny Bootlegger is massive, the Hogger is massive, but the 2 other cards that I actually wanted to get buffed never got buffs anymore in the mid-late game. We're able to beat Daryl with these stats as well somehow, because they were just dancing. They also don't have poison, and as long as people don't have multiple Amalgadons, we should be good. Baron, pretty useful, I guess, with the golden Selfless and maybe the Trickster if it becomes good sometime soon. And now I'm probably hero powering the Hogger, because I'm also even coining a roll because I could still, you know, get something here. But Hogger, hopefully, again, it can land on anything, but the Selfless is good on 4 Reaper, my Exna, and I guess the Briny Bootlegger is another bad hit. So Selfless would be the worst, obviously. Briny kind of sucks, not the end of the world, but anything else would have been so much better. They have one fixed Amalgadon, one non-fixed Amalgadon, but with Divine Shield they have double Flat Tusk Agam and a bunch of tribes, so this is kind of looking scary for us, but they only have 1 poison. Our Max was able to trade into that, and as you can see, they can't deal with my massive Briny Bootlegger. It's kind of weird to say, but every turn it's a new massive card that is able to just outscale what my opponents have. So we got that triple. I guess the best hit would still be a Maxna, maybe a Malagadon. None of that here. Coiler doesn't do anything. Zap maybe is potential good counter against some opponents. Now Macaw is interesting. It can trigger the Selfless, or I can have it trigger the Demon. So let's see where the stats land this time. We're gonna bounce it around again, just don't hit the Selfless, and finally it hit the Demon. So finally we have like a good landing buff. And now Macaw, you see where this is going, right? The Macaw massive Trickster build is coming along nicely. There's another Macaw and a Spore. So this 4 Reaper isn't doing anything. We can sell that. I'm freezing for the second Macaw, and we just fit Macaw's Spore on the board. Now the only issue is that it's taunted, our Trickster, so if they open with poison, our Trickster is dead. But I think this opponent just had big demons. They now have poison in the back and double. I don't know what their board is. They're trying to do a Trickster comp as well, it seems. But yeah, I do not really want to trigger Selfless with Macaw, since we almost Selfless the entire board anyway. I just want to proc Selfless. We do have 2 taunts, so even if they go first or if they go with poison, they could still hit my shield, my pub bot. So I do want to keep that second taunt here for now. And yeah, I mean, this is beautiful. I'm gonna keep this fight and just look at how nice these health buffs land here. The Zap, you know, they tried. The Spore can trade with all of their massive units, and this is beautiful. So the main upgrades right now, I guess, would be like a triple onto maybe Baron, maybe Macaw, Reborn on Macaw, or Maxna. That would be nice. A triple onto Trickster to get more health buffs, and it's a 1v1 now against Sungladders, who was playing the crazy double Flat Tusk Agam Menagerie comp. Let's see if this weird ass board can get there. Like, it's super interesting that all we did in the mid game was play for stats. All of those cards are gone. The only card that we kept here on the board now is the Massive Trickster. The reason why I'm keeping it as my only taunt is because I know they didn't have fixed Amalgadons, or they had them but they put them back. So as long as they don't open with poison, I guarantee win here. And guess what? It happens. So again, we have nothing. We just have 2 poisons. We don't even have Reborn onto the Max now. It's surprising. Not even a triple Macaw. This is such a scuffed board, but it's so fun, and it just works. It just worked. So keep that in mind. If you're playing Mutanus, everything is going to shit. Just play strong stats, just play strong shit, and maybe eventually, you know, go into some sort of scam comp, whether it's buffing a massive Trickster with all your stats combined and then filling the board with poison, or whatever else you can come up with. It can be good enough to scam a win. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this weird game, and I'll see you in the next one.